Okay, so we're diving right in with this one. You sent over the About Us page for this organization, Seeknow,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like you really want to understand what they're all about.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So let's just get right to it. And I guess our main goal here is to try to pick out like the really key ideas
Okay.
from what they're saying and just to kind of get a feel for what they do.
Right, exactly. Like what they believe, what they're trying to do, and what they're offering to people,
Totally.
that kind of thing.
Exactly. And you don't have to read the whole thing.
Yeah,
We'll do that for you.
perfect.
Okay. So to start things off,
Okay.
Seeknow believes this personal development brings about social transformation.
Mm.
So creating a fulfilling life for an individual
Mm-hmm.
collectively contributes to broader community change.
Right, so basically they're saying that when individuals grow and develop,
Yeah.
it leads to positive changes in society as a whole, like this kind of ripple effect.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this idea that if you help people become better versions of themselves, it's going to have a positive impact on their communities and even beyond that.
I see. I see.
It's a fascinating approach, really, because it kind of flips the script on how we usually think about social change, right? Like,
Yeah.
usually we focus on big systemic changes, but Seeknow is saying that it all starts with the individual.
I mean, it makes sense
Yeah, it does.
when you think about it.
And they also don't really explain exactly how much individual fulfillment is needed,
Right.
to actually create those big social shifts.
Yeah. They don't get into the specifics of that.
No, but it's definitely a thought-provoking idea.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. Okay, so let's move on to their aspiration, their why.
Okay.
Seeknow's purpose is to create a fulfilling life for purpose-driven professionals.
Interesting.
And they've outlined 3 key outcomes: excelling on their own terms,
Right.
becoming who they most want to be,
Okay.
and having more time for what they love.
So success, self-realization, and satisfaction.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
When they say purpose-driven professionals, what exactly do you think they mean by that?
Well, I think they're talking about people who are driven by something more than just money or status,
Okay.
People who are passionate about their work and want to make a difference.
Right, right.
So when Seeknow says they want to help these people excel on their own terms, they're acknowledging that success is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Yeah, you have to define what success means for you.
Exactly. It's about aligning your achievements with your own personal sense of purpose.
That makes sense.
And the other 2 outcomes, the self-realization and the having more time for things you love,
Yeah.
those really highlight this holistic view of fulfillment that Seeknow is going for.
It's not just about work, it's about your whole life.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance and living a life that feels truly meaningful.
So now let's move on to what Seeknow's actually trying to achieve.
Ew.
Their goals are to help purpose-driven professionals with 3 specific things. Finding a clear path to results without indecision.
Okay.
Staying in control with a systematic approach
Right.
without inattention. And successfully completing more in less time without inefficiency.
Wow. They really want to cover all the bases.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, those goals are so relevant, especially for people who are trying to be productive and make a real impact.
Totally. I mean, I know I struggle with that sometimes, just feeling overwhelmed with all the information out there
Oh, yeah, for sure.
and not knowing where to even start.
Exactly. You get stuck in that analysis paralysis.
And then there's the whole staying focused thing, which is always a challenge.
Tell me about it. I
Right.
feel like I'm constantly battling distractions.
And then on top of that, you have to actually get things done efficiently.
Yeah, it's so easy to get bogged down in busy work and feel like you're not making any real progress.
Exactly. And that's where Seeknow comes in. They're positioning themselves as a solution to those very problems.
Yeah. Right? They're saying, hey, we can help you cut through the noise, figure out what really matters, and then give you the tools to actually make it happen.
It's a pretty compelling pitch.
It is. Yeah, it's very practical, and it directly addresses the challenges that a lot of people face, especially those who are really driven.
So how do they actually plan to do all of that?
That brings us to the how, their strategy.
Okay.
Seeknow outlines 3 strategic pillars: learning solutions to clearly know what to do, training solutions to control how to do it,
Right.
and consulting solutions to have the time to complete it.
So it's like each pillar tackles a different aspect of the problem.
Exactly. It's a really well-structured approach.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
So the learning pillar is all about knowledge acquisition, right?
Okay.
It's about making sure you have the information you need to make good decisions and figure out what your path should be.
So it's about getting that clarity.
Exactly. And then the training pillar builds on that.
Okay.
It's about developing the skills and systems you need to actually execute on those decisions.
So it's about taking action.
Yes, and
Yeah.
staying in control of the process.
I see.
And then finally, the consulting pillar is there for people who need more hands-on support.
Okay.
Maybe they have really limited time or they just need some extra help to get things done.
It sounds like they have a solution for everyone.
It does seem that way. Yeah, it's like a tiered approach that caters to different needs and levels of investment.
That makes a lot of sense.
And all of this is tied together by their tagline, Live Your Purpose.
Yeah, it's catchy.
It really captures the essence of what they're all about.
It definitely does. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into their business model
Okay.
and break down each of their core solutions.
Sounds good.
So starting with learning, the feature is to clearly know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
The advantage is finding a clear path without indecision.
Right.
And the benefit is excelling on your own terms.
So it's all about empowering people to make their own choices and achieve their own version of success.
Exactly.
It's about giving them the confidence to move forward with clarity and purpose.
Okay, so moving on to training. The feature is to control how to do it.
Okay.
The advantage is staying in control with a systematic approach.
Right.
And the benefit is becoming who you most want to be.
This one seems more focused on that inner transformation.
Yeah, it's not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about embodying it.
Exactly. It's about developing the skills and habits that will help you become the best version of yourself.
And the systematic approach suggests that there's a clear structure to this process.
Yeah, it's not just a random collection of tips and tricks.
It's a proven system for personal growth.
Right.
Okay, and finally for consulting, the feature is to have the time to complete it. The advantage is completing more in less time without inefficiency.
Okay.
And the benefit is having more time for what you love.
This is huge for people who are feeling overwhelmed and stressed out.
Absolutely. Time is our most valuable resource.
Absolutely. And Seeknow is offering to help people reclaim that time so they can focus on the things that truly matter to them.
It's a really powerful value proposition.
It is, especially for people who are feeling burnt out and like they're constantly chasing their tails.
Okay, so now that we have a good understanding of their overall approach,
Sure.
let's talk about the specific products they offer.
Sure.
Starting with learning, they have these things called SIPs,
Okay.
which are free email subscriptions. They're described as informational, providing inspirational advice and practical tips.
It sounds like a great way to get a taste of what Seeknow is all about.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a low-commitment way to start benefiting from their expertise.
And the fact that they're emphasizing better time investment, even at this free level,
Yeah,
it shows that they're serious about helping people make the most of their time.
right from the get-go.
Exactly.
Then they have their Path to Excellence program,
Yeah.
which is a membership to short courses. These are described as transformational.
So it's a step up from the free SIPs.
Yeah, it's a more immersive learning experience.
And the word transformational suggests that these courses are designed to create lasting change.
Right? Not just surface-level knowledge,
And they focus on both internal and external quality.
which means they're addressing both your mindset and your results.
Exactly. It's a holistic approach to personal and professional development.
Now, that's a category.
Okay.
They have this thing called 6A's,
Interesting.
which is an in-depth course that develops 6 areas of life.
Wow, 6 areas.
Yeah.
Which ones?
Social, and spiritual fulfillment.
So it's really covering all aspects of a well-rounded life.
It sounds like it.
That's pretty comprehensive.
And they say it takes 12 months or less to complete.
So it's a significant time commitment.
It is,
Yeah.
but the benefit is that you stay in control with a simplified life approach.
I mean, that's a pretty big payoff.
Right.
Yeah, if you can really simplify your life and get rid of all the unnecessary complexity.
You can focus on what matters most.
Exactly. And ultimately become who you most want to be.
Okay, and last but not least, we have their consulting solution,
Okay.
which is called the Bags Pro solution.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, it's a unique 9-phase progress system with support from a certified consultant.
So it's very structured and personalized.
Exactly, and they claim that it can help you complete 40% more work per hour in 40 days.
Whoa, hold on. 40%. That's a pretty bold statement.
Right. It sounds almost too good to be true.
Yeah, how do they even measure that?
Well, I guess we'd have to look into the details of their methodology.
Yeah, definitely. But it's definitely eye-catching.
It is. And they also say that it can help you reclaim 2 hours of free time daily.
That's huge.
It is. I mean, just imagine what you could do with 2 extra hours every day.
I know, right?
So to sum it all up, Seeknow believes in the power of personal development to drive social change. Their goal is to help Purpose-driven professionals live fulfilling lives,
Right. And they do that by focusing on clarity, control, and completion.
and they offer a range of products and services to support people on that journey.
From free email subscriptions to personalized consulting.
Exactly. It's a pretty impressive setup.
It is. They seem to have a really well thought out approach.
Yeah, and they're really hitting on some key pain points that a lot of people are struggling with.
The overwhelm, the lack of focus, the feeling of being constantly busy but not getting anywhere.
Exactly. And they're offering practical solutions to those problems.
Which is what people really need.
Totally. So thinking about your own goals and aspirations,
Okay.
what's one area where you could really benefit from more clarity, control, or completion?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to think about that.
It's definitely something to ponder.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing it up.
No problem. It's all about taking those insights and applying them to our own lives.
Absolutely. That's how we make real progress.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, this was a really interesting deep dive.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
I'm excited to see what we uncover next time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Until then,
Bye.
see ya.